Women, namaste, Shakti here. So welcome to Saturday's Q&A in the Living Shakti Awake Facebook group. I'm probably going to share this into some other platforms, but this is for you first and foremost, ladies. So I'm here to answer your questions and to share some wisdom, some insight, some support today around a question that comes up all the time, which is, how do I love my body? It comes up in different forms, but basically that's the theme, that's the question. And if you're a woman alive in the world today, I'm sure this is a question that you've grappled with at some point in your evolution. Maybe you're still grappling with. It's something that I see all the time. I have been teaching conscious dance, yoga, Tantra, embodied awareness. I've been a body worker for 20 years, all of this. And so the body is my topic of expertise and passion. And in that role as a facilitator, as a healer, teacher, counselor, I get to see how the vast majority of women are not in love with their bodies. And the pain, the suffering, the disconnect, the lack of empowerment, the lack of self-care that then arises from that. Because basically, as a woman, your body is the home of your spirit. It is the home of and the source of your power. It's the source of your wisdom. It's the source of your intuition, your creativity, your emotional intelligence. All starts and begins with and from your body, and your womanly body, your feminine body, and all that is unique about that. So, you know, I can see very, very clearly how there has been this narrative for centuries that supports, encourages, creates a disconnect from the body for women so that they are not empowered, not empleasured, not living at the fullest potential of vitality, joy, happiness, connection, relating, sensuality that they could be. And this is a vestige of the patriarchal system. So I know this is a big question. For so many women, you know, how do I navigate this? How do I want to love my body, but I don't? I have this self-loathing, I have this self-hatred. I judge my body. It's not good enough. It's not as pretty as hers. It's not as thin as that woman in the magazine or the woman in the movies or on TV. You know, all of this stuff. Well, I'm going to do my best to kind of offer you a counter narrative and a transmission that will inspire you to remember the truth, which I speak about in my book, that beauty is within, and that your body is divine, however it looks, whatever shape or size it is, whatever color it is, that is completely immaterial. But it's only when you truly, truly, truly are inhabiting your body with love and awareness that you can stand in your full power, your full pleasure, your full wisdom as a woman. So let's begin. I'm going to talk to your mind first, because it's the mind that has been programmed and conditioned with all these negative beliefs. And it's the mind that's going to put up defense towards what I'm going to say with thoughts like, yes, but it's okay for her. Yes, but she's this. Yes, but, you know, but she doesn't know. But I'm special because I've got this very particular scar on my body, or this particular amount of body weight, or these particular, you know, this shape, whatever it is, that your mind will have beliefs that resist and defend against what I'm going to say. But it's also your mind that needs to be spoken to. So, and then we'll also address the body, of course. So let's start with just tuning in for a moment. So as you sit with me, as you listen to my words, just close your eyes. And because as you close your eyes, you're no longer distracted by looking at images in the external world and just come into your body with awareness. What does that mean? It means, what can you feel? What can you sense? What are you aware of in terms of sensations in your physical body in this moment now? Not thoughts, sensations. What can you feel? What can you sense? Can you feel your blood moving around? Can you feel your heart beating, pulsing? Can you feel your lungs expanding and contracting as you breathe? Can you feel your bum sitting on the chair or your feet standing on the ground? Can you feel the back of your body? Can you feel the back of your neck? Can you feel your cheeks, your face? Can you feel your chest expand and contract with the breath? Are you aware of digestion happening inside your stomach? Can you feel your belly? Is it contracted? Where are you feeling tight in your muscles? Where are you feeling loose? Where are you feeling relaxed? Where are you feeling pain? Where are you feeling pleasure? Where is energy flowing or not? So how much of this can you be aware of in this very moment as you listen, as you feel, as you sense? And the more you can be present moment sensing what is happening in the body, the more you're present now. And here's a secret, that present moment awareness of sensation in the body is also a clue to expanded pleasure, tantric lovemaking, tantric meditation, conscious relating, authentic relating, better communication with your partner and friends and family, all of this. Emotional alchemy, all of this starts and begins with being able to sense and feel what's going on in your body right now. So know that that capacity to be aware here and now, inside, feeling, sensing, it's got nothing to do with how you look, nothing to do with what shape you are, but it's the key to all of your gifts as a woman. Now I want you to cast your mind back to when you were a child, running around, playing, laughing, doing what children do, and just recall, it will have changed probably at a certain point, but do you remember as a child, as an infant, as a girl, do you remember feeling self-conscious about your body? Do you remember comparing yourself to other children and thinking, oh, her hair's blonde and mine is black and that means she's more attractive than me? Of course not. Yes, at a certain point these narratives would have entered in around puberty, but before that, just cast your mind back to the innocence, to the freedom, to the unself-consciousness that you felt in your body pre-puberty as a child. And I know, of course, because I work with women a lot, that there are some children who also would have had very difficult and traumatic experiences that will have disrupted this natural innocence. So I'm not discounting that, but for many of us, there will have been this experience of just being free in the body. How do I look? Is this awkward? Are people going to judge me? You just did what you did. And it's that innocence that through the tantric path, through the path of self-empowerment as women, we reclaim together with our womanly maturity and wisdom. But in essence, your body is pure, untainted, innocent, always, always, always. Whatever happens. Pure, innocent, untainted. Just like in the story of Adam and Eve, there is that innocence. That's our true nature, always. And then come the layers of conditioning, programming, and beliefs that get put into the body, upon the body, and become part of your cellular memory. But remember what it was like. Just feel that in your body right now as a child, to be free and innocent. Remember that feeling, completely unself-conscious. So then it changes. Yes, it changes. Why does it change? What happens when there's that shift? So at a certain point, as our hormones kick in puberty, there is a natural push to individuation, which means separating ourselves from our parents. And also there's this natural evolution into consciousness. Unfortunately, which means the capacity to be more self-aware and also more aware of others. Because until that point, we're naturally very selfish, really. Then as we become more consciously aware, depending upon what's going on in our environment, we're going to soak up all the beliefs, all the programs, all the narratives that are out there in our family, especially in the women around us, our mothers, our sisters, our aunts, our grandmothers. What attitudes were they holding towards their bodies at the time when you were a girl and a teen? You know, really, really influential. How did they talk about their bodies? How did they look in the mirrors? How did they dress? What did they say to you about your body? What did they say to themselves about their bodies? And then magazines, music, posters, TVs, films, all of this stuff. What was the narrative? Begin to see now with your adult mind that there's a cultural narrative, there's a social narrative that isn't the truth. It's a narrative, it's a story, it's telling you something, it's not a truth. Narrative in patriarchal thinking, which separates body and mind, which objectifies women, which puts the value on the external, not the internal, which begins to teach you that if you don't look a certain way, you're not good enough. If you're not, and also begin to see that these norms of beauty are not fixed. They change over time, which is a good indicator that they're not truths. They change over time. Big bums, little bums, big tits, little tits, small waist, big waist. It's different through the ages. Eyebrows, big eyebrows, thin eyebrows. It changes through the ages, and it changes according to country and culture. So there's no fixed truth of it. It's just something somebody is creating, these ideals, these standards for women to live up to. And if they don't live up to them, then what happens? They don't feel good enough. Oh, great. So let's inculcate women with a sense of insecurity about not being good enough, about needing validation from the outside to feel worthy, about needing to live up to almost impossible standards, because of course all these images are airbrushed that we see. They're not real pictures, they're airbrushed. And people have makeup artists to do all kinds of tricks on them, or they have plastic surgery to do all kinds of tricks on them. So what we're seeing is an illusion, and we're being invited to live up to an illusion, and if we don't, to feel not good about ourselves. You see the trap, and then you see when we don't feel good about ourselves, what happens is that we are needy, we are feeling unworthy, and we depend on validation from the outside to feel good about ourselves. We compare ourselves to others, we bitch about others in the belief that they're better, which is a load of nonsense. And then also we're encouraged to spend a lot of money on products, clothes, makeup, plastic surgery, to try and look like this ideal in the belief that it's going to make us happy and feel finally good enough. And of course, that's a load of bollocks. It never does, it never will. So whatever you do to the outside, it's never going to change how you feel on the inside. So if you feel unworthy, however beautiful you may look, in inverted commas, in the exterior, if you don't feel that on the inside, the frequency is still there. You're still emitting the frequency of unworthiness, which is saying, I am not good enough, I am not beautiful, because you don't really believe it. So you see this trap, this programming, this conditioning that happens. And I grew up seeing this, seeing friends at school become anorexic. They weren't even fat in the first place, but it was this awful cultural conditioning about having to look a certain size, and this feeling of not being good enough, the comparison that took place, the feeling of unworthiness that came in me, because my parents, for example, were telling me always how fat my bum was. Now, ironically, And don't worry, I don't feel sorry for me, I'm fine now. My kids are telling me how juicy my bum is and how sexy that is and how that's apparently currently very popular to have a juicy bum. So like basically it changes and who cares. The most important thing is you can't mask your feelings and your frequency on something outside you to feel good about yourself. You're never going to feel good about yourself. And I can tell you from experience, having coached, mentored, facilitated and taught women for 20 years, being a woman myself, being a mother to a daughter and a son, you meet the externally defined standard of beauty. It does not equate or guarantee or translate into happiness, well-being, better sex, better relationships, none of that. So it's completely meaningless, really. Like, if it makes you feel good, great. But I can tell you it doesn't guarantee you any of those things. Guarantee you those things is loving yourself and feeling good about yourself and being in touch with yourself from the inside out. 100%. And if you read my book and do the practices, chapter 7 is called Beauty is Within, and I tell a story there about how I experienced this, over and again, that beauty is within. I hope that kind of speaking to your mind a little bit has helped you to see this what Naomi Klein, is it Naomi Klein? No, I've forgotten her last name. It'll come back to me. She wrote the book, The Beauty Myth, and she highlights, how it sets us up to feel eternally not good enough and to put our power outside ourselves as a result. Now, when we come back into our bodies through sensory awareness, through being here, not out there, through valuing inside, not outside, into attune to our power, then we can begin to expand into whole body pleasure. If you're thinking about how do I look when you're being intimate with someone, guess what? You're not going to be able to experience the ultimate pleasure that's possible, of course. If you're your body and talking to your body in negative ways, how can your body relax? That's what it's designed to do. It's designed to feel really, really intensely. Your emotion, you're feeling, and you can't make space for that. How can you be emotionally intelligent? Emotional intelligence is essential for healthy relating. You're going to be projecting your feelings onto other people, blaming them for how you feel rather than making space for and being able to hold and love yourself in whatever emotions you're going through, good and bad, right? Your yoni, your heart, these are the source of your deep inner knowing as a woman. How can you access your yoni, your womb, if you feel shame about that area of your body? How can you open your heart to the full potential of unconditional love if it's closed down out of a lack of self-worth or self-love and no sensation, numbness in the chest, numbness in the breasts? Breasts connect to the heart, right? As a woman, you're designed to feel deeply. This is your gift. To feel deeply, to love deeply, to be profoundly sensual, by which I don't just mean sex. I mean every aspect of being in a body and touching, tasting, hearing, seeing. These are all gateways to transcendence, to ecstasy, and to spiritual gifts. Your spiritual gifts emerge through deep contact with the physical body. It's when flesh and spirit meet. And spirit cannot meet you in the flesh if you do not open to allow yourself to receive, to feel. Without contraction, without shutdown. To negate the power of our minds, we need our minds too, but our mind works together with our body. So, now let's just turn to how do I then cultivate this relationship of love with my body if that's not what's been going on for a very long time? Well, it's like a relationship. It takes time, it takes two, it takes commitment. It's not something that happens overnight if you have a kind of negative relationship with your body right now. I'm not going to tell you can change it instantly, overnight. No, all of these things take time, like a relationship. But here are some of my tips for how to go about that. So daily movement. A movement that is movement with awareness, conscious movement, like ecstatic dance, the 5 rhythms, tantric practice, yoga practice, body work, massage, all of these movement forms that bring awareness, tai chi, taekwondo, they bring awareness into the physical body. Because otherwise, if you go to the gym, there is a very patriarchal, masculine, mindless narrative to movement that continues and accentuates the body-mind split. You want to be moving and aware, both. If you're kind of tripping out and moving your body senselessly, mindlessly, you're not creating that connection that is necessary to deepen in awareness and self-love. You're disciplining and punishing the body, treating it like a slave rather than loving and connecting. So moving daily with awareness, not to lose weight, not to do so many steps, but to feel alive, to feel sensation, to feel good. Movement moves energy. Movement activates vitality. And as a woman, again, this connects you with your Kundalini Shakti energy, which moves through the body, right? Daily conscious movement, daily listening in and noticing. How do I feel right now in my body? What am I noticing right now in my body? It's a practice. And I work with women, and I have worked with women for 20 years. I can tell you, you might think you're doing it, and you're not. You're thinking rather than noticing sensation. So many times I'll say the question, what are you noticing right now? And it's an image or a thought. It's not a sensation. The sensation is a dull ache in the left side of my... A sensation is a prickling sensation around my urethra. A sensation is a fizzing motion in my belly. These are sensations, right? A tightness in my jaw. The skin pulling across my cheeks as I speak. These are sensations, and they only happen in the now. So continually asking yourself, what sensation am I noticing now, begins to cultivate that relationship. And particularly when you are triggered, particularly when you're communicating with somebody and you're triggered, this is a really, really important and useful skill, because it brings you back to the present moment and keeps you in touch with yourself, not losing yourself to the other. Self-talk. Notice how you speak about your body to yourself and to others, and begin to rewrite that script. So only bringing in words of love, words of praise, words of appreciation. Just banning any negative self-talk towards yourself, about yourself, towards others, and about others as well. Touching the body for pleasure, for connection, perhaps massaging oil in or lotion after the bath. I actually put oil on when I'm in the shower. Touch. Reconnecting with your body through touch, through self-touch, and if you can afford it, through massage, receiving touch. That has the intention of love. Love in the hands, heart and hands are connected, loving touch. I don't necessarily mean self-pleasuring, but if you want to self-pleasure, of course, that's a beautiful way to give yourself love, so long as it's with awareness. Food, nourishment. What do you take into your body? Are you giving your food nourishment? Do you ask your body, what would you like? What do you need? Do you listen, truly listen? Not for the cravings, for sugar, for alcohol, for foods that help you numb out and disconnect. But like, what does your body really need? What's going to nourish your body? What's going to support your body to feel really good? Listen, ask, communicate, and nourish. Nourish. Here's the question. What makes your body feel good? What gives you joy? How do you experience joy? Is it walking in nature? Is it skipping? Is it dancing? Is it sitting on a swing? Is it massage? What is it that makes your body feel joy, feel exhilarated, feel bliss? What is it? Journal on it and begin to build that more into your life. I know that as you embark on this journey, there will be defenses, there will be hurdles, there will be emotional breakthroughs. Just receiving loving touch for the first time could make you cry your eyes out. So this is part of this journey of a new relationship of healthy respect and love with your body. It's all part of it. Avoid any media or people who continue the narrative of body hate, of comparison, of loathing, of illusion, of trying to sell you something and make you feel not good enough. Just turn it off, avoid it. Turn towards what makes the body feel good, what nourishes, what supports this journey of a return to self-love. So, for example, reading The Beauty Myth. Books about body love, and of course, again, my book Rapture, and there are so many books about coming back into a loving relationship with your body for women, and with your womb, and with your yoni, and with your breasts. Because I speak about those parts not because I want those to be focused on at the exclusion of your whole body, but because often there's the most shame associated with those areas. And that's where the barriers, it's kind of like this irony, shame has been so programmed into those body parts that are the gateway to your greatest pleasure and power. And I think that's no coincidence. I think I've already said that about other women's bodies. Just focus on your body and how much you love it. And this will require going against the grain. If you live in quite a mainstream world, luckily I don't, but if you live in quite a mainstream world, it can be quite unusual not to bitch about your own body or about other women's bodies. So you're going to stand out. So you need a bit of courage for that. But it's part of a change. Mirror talk. So have you got a mirror? Of course you have. A hand mirror or a full body mirror. So begin this practice of looking into the mirror and saying, I love you. I love you. I love you. Do it first of all with your face, and then you can begin to say, like, notice particular parts. I love your eyes. I love your eyebrows. I love that mole just there. I love the shape of your lips. Like, just keep talking. I love your hair. I love your forehead. Talk to yourself. I love you. And then you can do the whole body. Stand in front of the mirror and just see what it feels like to say I love you. It might not feel true when you say it, but just keep saying I love you. And let any emotions rise that rise. Let them come. It can be really emotional to do that. I love you. I love you. This is, if there's a particular part of your body that you really have an issue with, to dialogue just with that area or that part of your body. To dialogue with it like you would with a child that you really care for unconditionally, and to listen to what that body part has to say to you, and to see how you can develop appreciation for the gifts of that area or that part of your body. What gifts does it have? What messages does it have? How can you appreciate it for the service it has given you and is giving you? So, for example, I look at my feet and I still think they're pretty ugly, right? They're like my least favorite part, one of the least favorite parts of my body, my feet. And like, I do look at other women's feet and think, wow, their feet are so pretty, my feet are so ugly. And I can appreciate my feet for, wow, like my feet support me when I run, when I walk, when I dance. And you know, I love dancing, and without my feet I couldn't dance the way I do. They're incredible the way they support me. They're so strong, supple, flexible, nimble. These feet are fucking amazing. So I've written a poem to appreciate my feet. That poem to my feet, and I mean it. I really appreciate you, and I do my best to take care of my feet now. And this has been a relationship that's been going on for 11, 12 years consciously with my feet. So I've been, you know, it's a long-term relationship. I massage cream into my feet. I, you know, try to keep my feet, my toenails trimmed. You know, I do what I can. I go to see a podiatrist. So I take care of that particular area of my body as best I can. Sometimes I fall off the wagon, you know, and my skin gets dry, and, you know, then I get back to it. But it's a relationship of care, of appreciation, of saying, of gratitude, of saying thank you for supporting me. So in the same way, you'll be able to develop a relationship with those particular areas or parts of your body where you have most difficulty feeling love and appreciation. It's a game changer. That support this journey of a return to embodiment and a return to love. My book is just one of very, very many. And just to mention, I am going to be doing a study group going through the book, and the whole first spiral, which covers the first 7 chapters, which ends with chapter 7, Beauty is Within, is all about reclaiming your sovereignty, which means taking back all the places where you've given your power away around your body and your sensuality and your emotions and your identity, and bringing it back here. So it's a lot about being in touch with your body, noticing sensations, discovering your inner beauty, and deepening your relationship with your body and your yoni and your breasts. All of it. Your needs, desires, your boundaries, all of it. So the details for that are in the group, and I'll post them below. So I just wanted to see now if there are any questions that anybody has for me to answer before I wrap up. Questions right now, so I'm just going to give it a few more moments. I'm just going onto the computer to have a look there. I can't see it in my group, so if you have any questions, please post them below, or any reflections or any shares. What's helped you in your journey to loving your body? Where are your struggles at the moment? What other forms of help and support might you need? Really happy to hear, see and read your own reflections, questions. Now, I'll be back soon with another Q&A. For now, enjoy this day, enjoy your body, do something you love for your body today. Namaste.